For the second mandala, I've already started by working with 3 photos. With each one of them I did something different. I added a filter to the photo, made it a color pencil drawing. With the other one I cropped out the background and made it more of a woodcut look, and then I just added some text and warped it. Once you have at least a couple images and some words, and you can do these as complex as you'd like, created, then I'm going to go ahead and make a new document. So I'll go to File, New, and I will go ahead and hit OK. Now, with this document, I want to make that a little bit bigger so that I can work with the whole document, and then I'm going to go to View and Rulers, and then I want to go back into View and do a new guide. I want it to be vertical, and I'll go ahead and hit Position OK. And I see that I have this blue line here, and I'm going to drag it halfway across my document. Next, I'm going to go back into View and do another new guide, this time horizontal, and I'm also going to bring that down halfway into my document. I want to have my document divided into 4 quadrants. This doesn't really apply yet, but I'm only going to be working in this quadrant up here in the upper left hand side. So I'm going to drag my images and create a look that I think is interesting that just fills up this quadrant here. Some of my things may go into the other quadrants, and that's okay. So when I drag this picture over, I'm going to go ahead and select it, make sure Show Transform Controls is there, and I'm going to rotate it and grab the side of it to make it fill up a little bit more, and I held Shift so that I didn't skew the image, and I'm going to end up filling the whole quadrant with this, and I'll layer things over it. I'll hit Enter. Then I'll go over to the elephant piece, and I'm going to click on it and drag it over, and I want to resize the elephant, so I'll hold down Shift, and when the elephant is the size that I want it to be and rotated where I'd like it to be, I will go ahead and click on the check mark up here or hit Enter. Then I'm going to go into my words, and so I'll go to Untitled, which is where my words are. I'm going to grab the name and drag it over, and I want this to be bigger and to show up a little bit more, so I'm going to skew that and place that where I'd like it to be. I'm going to copy this to have another one of it, so I'll hit Control J, and I'm going to change the way this looks by highlighting it and going into the warp text, and I want to change this into more of a flag look, and I'll hit OK and then drag this where I would like it to be, and I can click on the corners and rotate it to be exactly the spot that I would like, and then I'm going to hit Enter. Now, what I'm going to do is select all of my layers that I have, and I'm going to group them. So I'm going to click on all 4 of them while I hold down Shift so that the 4 layers that I've been working with are selected. I'm going to go to Layer, and I'm going to go to Group Layers. Then I'm going to duplicate this group. So I can go over here to Group and do a right click, and I want to duplicate the group. And I will go ahead and hit OK. With this group, what I'm going to do now on Group 1 Copy is do a right click, and I'm going to merge the group. I'm not going to merge Group 1, but Group 1 Copy. Now, what I want to do before I start to rotate this is I want to clean up the stuff that's hanging over the outside. So I'm going to go up to my marquee tool and make sure that it's the rectangle one, and I'm going to go to my line that I drew and select all that. I'm going to hit Delete. You can't really see that I've deleted anything here because I have Group 1, but if I were to hide Group 1, I would see that I'm cleaning up Group 1 Copy. And I'm also going to go to the bottom piece and clean that up as well. So again, if I went to Group 1, I would see that the only thing that was left was Quadrant 1. It doesn't really matter that when I show back to Quadrant 1, there's stuff there. To get rid of the selection tool, I can hit Control D, and that undoes my selection. Now, I want to go ahead and go to Edit and Transform, and I want to flip this horizontally. And I'm going to get the black arrow tool and drag this over so that it matches up in my 4 quadrants, and he's been reflected and lined up. Then I want to hit Control J to copy that layer, and I'm going to go into Edit and Transform, but this time I'm going to flip it vertically because I want it to be below that one, and I will drag that down below so that it lines up. And if I'm having a hard time getting it lined up where I'd like it to be with the mouse, I can use the arrow tool. Back on this layer down here in the bottom right quadrant, and I'll hit Control J again, and I'll do my last copy, so it's Edit and Transform, and this time, since I'm going to the left, I'll flip horizontally, and I will drag that one over and line that up, and when I like that, there is my layer. I can save this. I again can go in and play with adjustments and the gradients and different things like that. But this is my mandala, and it's been rotated around 4 times in the quadrants. The more that I would have done with this first quadrant, the more changes that I would have seen going around, or the more colorful this is, the more I would have had going around here. And then I'll save this.